Our consulting group has been acquired by TCL to prepare a marketing plan for their expansion into India. We have been asked to help strategize and create a roadmap to achieve their goals. In the past, TCL has had an unsuccessful attempt at penetrating the market in India, and they're looking to us to help be the catalyst for change. Throughout this presentation, we will outline the internal, consumer, and external environments. We will present a SWOT analysis performed for TCL. Based on this, we will highlight their competitive advantages and a proposed strategic focus. Through this, we have established marketing goals and objectives, which we will outline. We have recommended target markets and product line suggestions, including pricing, promotion, and distribution. This is all sewn up in an implementation plan with a specifically tailored timeline to lead TCL to success. To wrap up the presentation, we will outline a plan for evaluation and control, ensuring ongoing success in this venture. Let's begin with their mission. In recent years, TCL has updated their vision, mission, spirit, and values, as seen here. Their focus now goes beyond the product to include experiences and services as well. As a company, it's important for them to be socially responsible, keeping their employers happy through good work culture and opportunities for development, as well as keeping the shareholders happy. They are a team-centered company priding themselves in both integrity and innovation. Their new mission and vision was the resulting outcome of a new marketing strategy announced in 2014. This was the start of a new era for TCL as they shifted their focus from the product to the user. For this new strategy, they coined the term Double Plus, referencing both products plus services as well as intelligence plus internet. The former came from a recognition that competition in the tech world, specifically with TVs, was increasing, and innovation was a necessity for survival. The latter is an extension of the product by way of offering internet services coupled with their televisions. At 2 years into their 5-year timeline, they were already ahead of schedule and making great strides. Continuing into their internal environment, we can see they have a strong corporate culture. They have been a recipient of Asia's Best Employer Brand Award 5 of the past 6 years. Through trial and error in other markets, they have found advantage in designing products for specific markets. This can be seen in their success with Roku in the United States. Their financials are looking strong as well. Their price over earnings exceeds the S&P, and their growth of 10,000 ratio is consistently performing nearly double at what it was 5 to 10 years ago. These are strong indicators for valuation, growth, and a strong investment. Switching to the consumer environment, we can see that TCL has had an expanding customer base in many new markets, including Europe, Russia, Africa, and the Middle East. India's expenditure growth rate is more than twice that of the global rate. TCL's primary product lines currently includes televisions and smartphones. Later in the presentation, we discuss their product lines further, including proposed changes. Their current target market centers around price-conscious shoppers, specifically a younger demographic in urban emerging cities. Although TCL has seen an increased sales volume in tech, it does have hurdles to overcome. Digital influence has helped them, but currently they are limited to Amazon.in for their online sales. With a lower price point, there is also a stigma that their product is of lesser quality. They struggle by comparison to brands from the US, the UK, and Germany. Next, we round out our situational analysis with the external environment. India has experienced tremendous growth in consumer electronics. They have been moving up the ranks in foreign direct investments. This is a strong indicator that they are a developing and emerging market. They are experiencing a push to become a leading force in electronics production worldwide. This makes competition all the more sizable as they compete with big brands like LG, Samsung, Apple, and Panasonic. India has recently gone through a political transformation. Through this, there is more governmental support for economic growth. This has resulted in growing purchasing power and economic freedom. These factors help to position India as one of the most sought after markets to operate in. Demographically, the median age has risen. This and population growth as a whole present a great opportunity. There are now more consumers included in the TCL target market due to this. Now, let's take a look at the SWOT analysis. Based on our background research, the following strengths will impact TCL by allowing the organization to scale distribution through Amazon, develop continued strong performance in the aspirational market segment, and expand brand awareness to the greater Indian market. With growing competition, the solid performance over time allows TCL to expand and grow their existing customer base both through active marketing and organic word-of-mouth advertising. The weaknesses we found surrounding TCL include lower margins for sales due to rising competition, weaker brand awareness as a Chinese company, and weak brick-and-mortar support center footprint. India is looking for more quality products and companies with a longer history which have a perception of quality when compared to TCL. That being said, there is a growing interest for cheaper alternative brands, growing interest in using online commerce for purchases, and development of brick-and-mortar presence in major cities. This is where the opportunities lie for TCL. Between that and the shifting target market, TCL has a new trend they can ride out. Younger demographics and the improved distribution and online presence has boosted overall market interest. The market has signaled an interest in being able to touch the products before purchasing, especially large scale. Large cities will push for greater ability to test goods before buying. Competition will always be a large threat for TCL, and this won't change anytime soon. Other brands with a longer tenure have established themselves with a good foundation, and this inhibits TCL. It's also important to note that distribution challenges, although they affect other tech companies as well, serve as a threat. With all this in mind, we've identified the following as TCL's competitive advantages. They are currently a good brand for price-conscious consumers. They have taken advantage of strong partnerships such as that with Roku. This has helped in both products and services, falling in line with the Double Plus marketing strategy. Now let's take a look at the recommended marketing goals and objectives for TCL. To expand their market in India, TCL needs to turn to e-commerce. Amazon is a great place to be present, but efforts there and elsewhere can increase. Other online retailers, such as Flipkart and Snapdeal, are additional avenues TCL should expand into. Brick-and-mortar stores are also a major need for TCL. Currently, Indian consumers prefer the competition because they provide assistance at their retail centers through the purchasing process and general support post-purchase. Ultimately, TCL should build their own showrooms. Due to the time and money investments, they should initially partner with other retail stores currently in India. Currently, the only product offerings in India are televisions and mobile phones. TCL needs to consider expanding their product line to other home appliances. This is an easy opportunity for a win as they already offer these other products elsewhere. This would increase the perceived value and quality of the TCL brand to Indian consumers. In addition, TCL must increase their quality perception and brand awareness through increased advertising, partnering with large corporations, securing brand endorsements, and focusing on the TCL vision through their advertising will push this goal. Finally, they need to address pricing. Their quality is the same as their competitors, but their price is not. TCL's lower prices give an assumed view of lower quality. We recommend price increases to align with their competitors. Now, let's turn to marketing strategy in our target market. In the past 20 years in India, the nuclear family has become the norm, spending 20 to 30% more than joint families. The decision makers are younger and more likely to make decisions based on wants. With this in mind, we want to focus on the younger generation and millennials in these emerging cities. In addition, the top two classes, the elite and the affluent, are set to double in size within 5 to 10 years. From a psychographic perspective, achievers and thinkers are TCL's primary target market. Next, we turn to the product strategy. We believe the direction necessary is to create product tiers. This can help the brand create an image of quality at all levels. The current offering for the price-conscious consumers, as well as a new high-end line with increased prices and more offerings for the affluent customers seeking luxury. Like we had mentioned prior, expanding the product line to include home appliances such as washing machines, refrigerators, and air conditioners will increase their market share. These already exist in other markets, they just need to expand them into India as well. With the product tier segmentation comes the new pricing mentioned before. First is aligning the current offerings with that of the competitors. Next is the new high-end line for the more affluent consumers. High-end televisions mean high-end prices. These products will have advanced features and customization options not offered in their current line, and this will in turn justify the price. This all falls in line with the need to help the brand perception as a quality product. Next, let's discuss distribution. TCL will already receive a large impact by the increasing of online sales as we mentioned earlier. Currently, e-commerce is driven solely through Amazon.in, but expansion into other e-commerce retailers such as Flipkart and Snapdeal will increase their footprint. As mentioned, Indian consumers find value in a brick-and-mortar store. Establishing new, exclusive TCL showrooms is expensive and time-consuming, so in the interim, TCL will need to partner with large Indian retailers such as Reliance Digital, Chroma, VJ Sales, and eZone. To gain the maximum amount of exposure, intensive distribution and partnerships with all the leading electronics retailers is necessary. In order to alleviate shipping and freight charges, establishing manufacturing in India is an alternative, albeit expensive. Currently, this is not a feasible or proposed distribution strategy due to some uncertain anti-Chinese trade sentiment existing in the political environment. Over time, TCL can then shift to developing their own exclusive showrooms and support centers. This will provide continued brand awareness and the opportunity to achieve market dominance. Promotion will be key to continue their awareness and brand perception. They need to partner with public figures such as Bollywood celebrities. They can also do the same in the sporting arena by sponsoring cricket teams or athletes. Since TCL already has a presence with Amazon, they need to cultivate this avenue of sales. By promoting specifically through Amazon, they can work to improve their search results and have a more dominant presence on their website, something which is currently lacking. Their target market of younger, more affluent consumers can also be reached through an increased TV and social media advertising campaign. Internet utilization is growing at an exponential growth rate in both rural and urban areas alike. Social media such as Facebook, Twitter, and Instagram provide an opportunity for TCL to create brand awareness as well as announce product promotions as an incentive to choose TCL. TCL should create additional partnerships with online streaming companies such as Netflix and Amazon Prime. Currently, TCL is working on promoting Roku in their smart TVs and providing it as a promotional enhancement for certain types of sales. Now let's shift to implementation and our recommended timeline. Our implementation will be centered around a campaign we're calling 4P implementation. It is a slight spin on the traditional marketing mix of product, price, place, and promotion. This approach will be structured around four similar areas: product, pricing, presence, and partnerships. The goal is to make minimal changes to the organizational structure. Individual teams will grow in conjunction to the growth in India. This will provide opportunity for promotion within while maintaining their award-winning corporate culture. To implement this strategy, TCL will create a 4P implementation task force. The team will consist of everyone from frontline employees to senior level executives across all departments. The product portion of the implementation consists of creating a luxury line of televisions with a new product name under the TCL umbrella. It also involves expanding the product line beyond televisions to include home appliances to their offerings in India. The timeline on bringing the existing home appliance product line into India will be 3 to 6 months. Creating a newer, high-end brand of televisions is a bigger project with a larger timeline of 12 to 18 months. The home appliance line efforts can begin immediately, while we recommend waiting to begin 6 months on creating the new line of televisions. This allows TCL to gain momentum on some of the easier tasks. The task force would work to better align prices with competitors, which would in turn rise prices on their current line. The new high-end brand would be sold at an even higher premium, but would be packaged with additional features. Pricing on the existing line of televisions is one of the quickest ways to begin to get value out of the strategy, as the products already exist and they are already being sold. The timeline on this is 0 to 3 months. The timeline on pricing new products would be the same and would be aligned with the development and release of these new products. TCL will immediately begin the process of expanding their e-commerce presence. Their in-person sales is the second piece of their presence initiative. This begins with a heavy push to get their products into Indian retail giants such as Reliance Digital and Chroma. In the long term, TCL will begin designing a flagship standalone store to serve as their showroom. Based on the success of this, TCL will ultimately roll out more standalone storefronts across India over time. We are applying a 6-month timeline to expand online sales and a 9-month timeline to expand into more brick-and-mortar retailers in India. The biggest undertaking will be creating a flagship standalone store that will serve as the TCL showroom. The goal is to have the same appeal, image, and purpose as an Apple or Microsoft store. This timeline will be 18 to 24 months to develop the image, find the location, and execute the construction. Based on the success of the flagship store, there would be a goal of expanding in additional Indian cities in the following 5 to 10 years. Finally, a strategic partnership will wrap up the whole strategy. TCL will align themselves with Indian media and culture and secure brand endorsements. We will allot 6 months to secure contracts with multiple public figures to promote the brand and products. Once secured, they will be retained for the life of the 4P implementation. We will also allot 6 months to looking into the effectiveness of expanding partnerships with other online streaming services such as Netflix and Amazon Prime. The final piece of our marketing plan is our evaluation and control. This involves inputs in place before anything begins, controls needed during the execution, as well as controls used to measure the effectiveness once this has been completed. Employee perception of TCL must be high. They must focus on development and education within the company. This is not just limited to items related specifically to this marketing plan or specifically to the task force. Internal audits must be put in place at all tiers within the organization. TCL must ensure customer satisfaction is a priority for its customers. By performing regular marketing audits of the company, TCL will be able to maintain control over its customer interface and grow the popularity and name of the brand. Marketing audits performed by TCL throughout their Indian operations must be thorough and complete to be efficient and effective. TCL must identify and test the effectiveness of its marketing and product delivery. The consumers will be critical in identifying where the company sits with its quality control and customer service. By presenting opportunities for quick reviews and surveys to a customer base, TCL will be able to more cost-effectively analyze its efforts. These audits must also reach the external companies involved in production, marketing, distribution, and user interfaces. Thank you.